The PPZR Grom, or simply Grom, was Poland's entry into the man-portable air defense system, or MANPADS market. Its advanced variant, the PPZR Piorun, or simply Piorun, now ranks among the most preferred in its category. As the weapon detective, we're now investigating the Grom and Piorun and exploring how Poland achieved such success in a relatively short period. The Grom and Piorun are Szenaśny Przeciwlotniczy Zestaw Rakietowy in Polish, which literally means portable anti-aircraft missile system. The PPZR prefix in their names is the abbreviation of this term. Grom is the first Polish domestic MANPADS. The Piorun, simply an advanced variant of the Grom, has achieved remarkable export success since the beginning of this decade. Before analyzing what has contributed to this achievement, let's first look at the history and features of these missiles. In the mid-1970s, Malsko of Poland, now part of the PGZ group, began producing the 9K-32 Strela II, whose NATO reporting name is SA-7 Grail under license as the Strzelba 2M. The company supplied the MANPADS to both the Polish People's Army and other export clients. However, critical components, including the homing system, warhead, and rocket engine, continued to be supplied by the USSR. This work still established vital infrastructure and expertise for future projects. Advancements in MANPADS and countermeasures during the 1980s rendered the Strzelba 2M obsolete. As a result, Poland obtained a small number of 9K-310 Igla-1 from the USSR, whose NATO reporting name is SA-16 Gimlet, and then decided to produce it under license. Although the USSR approved the plan, it declined to transfer technologies for the homing warhead, engine, and launch mechanism. After the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the dissolution of the Warsaw Pact in 1991, Warsaw abandoned the license production plan for the Igla-1, which already had many restrictions, in favor of a domestic MANPADS development project. Through this program, Poland aimed to develop national capabilities in the design and production of homing heads, optoelectronics, thermal power sources, integrated circuits, warhead, fuses, and high-energy solid propellants for rocket engines. The project officially began in 1992 with Malsko appointed as the prime contractor and participation from several national research and development institutions. However, such an endeavor proved beyond the capabilities of the Polish military industry at the time. Furthermore, the political and economic instability following the end of the First Cold War did not help. In 1995, Malsko delivered the initial version of the MANPADS called Grom 1 to the army for trials, which still relied on many important components. Some sources claim that Polish intelligence later obtained blueprints for the 9K-38 Igla, whose NATO reporting name is SA-18 Grouse, from the Russian Lomo company. As a result, Poland finally developed its own missile guidance system, which closely resembles the Igla's 9E-410. Although mass production of the MANPADS, now called just Grom, began in the late 1990s, manufacturing of the national homing system did not commence until 2000. The Grom's external appearance resembles that of the Igla-1. It comprises a single-stage missile in a disposable tube launcher, along with a reusable launch mechanism and a power unit. Additionally, the MANPADS can be fitted with the Radwar IKZO2 IFF transponder and a thermal imaging sight for all-weather operation. With these accessories, the launch weight rises to 18.5 kilograms. Operators can access air situation data via computer terminals and communication devices integrated with the Rega Air Defense Command Automation System. The Grom can be ready for action within 15 seconds. It is effective against targets approaching at speeds up to 400 meters per second and receding at speeds of up to 360 meters per second. Its liquid nitrogen-cooled infrared seeker is highly resistant to CHEF flares. The fragmentation warhead detonates only on impact, so the missile must directly hit the target. If the missile cannot locate or reach the target within 14 to 17.5 seconds, the self-destruction mechanism activates. The system includes an SKP Grom control and measurement station, an airborne target imitator, and training devices, all of which significantly improve system operation and crew training. Georgia, Indonesia, Lithuania, Poland, and Ukraine are operators of the MANPADS. Russia captured some Groms and supplied them to separatists in Ukraine. The PPZR Grom measures 1.69 meters in length and weighs 16.5 kilograms. The infrared homing missile is 1.57 meters long, 72 millimeters in diameter, and weighs 10.5 kilograms. Its high explosive fragmentation warhead with a contact fuse weighs 1.27 kilograms. The missile is effective at ranges between 500 and 5,500 meters and at altitudes between 10 and 3,500 meters. Powered by a single-stage solid propellant rocket engine, the Grom can reach a maximum speed of Mach 1.96. In 2010, Melsko began developing the Piorun, initially called Grom M, as a modernized version of the Grom. In 2016, Poland ordered the Piorun, but technical issues with the propulsion system delayed its delivery. Once Melsko resolved them, the MANPADS entered service with the Polish Armed Forces in 2019. Updates to the Piorun variant include improvements to the launch mechanism and sight. The homing head, now laser gyro-stabilized and using argon coolant, offers greater detection range, sensitivity, and resistance to chaff flares. The missile's range is extended, while a proximity fuse added to the existing impact fuse improves effectiveness against small targets such as drones. The new directional warhead contains an explosive blend of HMX and aluminum powder. The MANPADS now detects approaching targets more effectively. A new special rail allows integration of various sights on the launch unit. A battery cassette powers the launch mechanism, while an authorization system prevents unauthorized use. The launch motor has also been modernized. The latest Piorun NG variant was also developed based on the experience gained from earlier models. Melsko unveiled it in 2023. Belgium, Estonia, Georgia, Latvia, Lithuania, Moldova, Norway, Poland, Sweden, Ukraine, and the USA are the operators of the Piorun. Slovakia selected the MANPADS in 2023, however, the contract remains unsigned. The complete PPZR Piorun system weighs 19.5 kilograms. The infrared homing missile measures 1.6 meters in length, 72 meters in diameter, and weighs 10.5 kilograms. Its high explosive fragmentation warhead, equipped with contact and proximity fuses, weighs 1.82 kilograms. The missile is effective at ranges between 400 and 6,500 meters and at altitudes between 10 and 4,000 meters. Powered by a single-stage solid propellant rocket engine, the Piorun can reach a maximum speed of Mach 1.99. Operated by the Polish land forces, the SPZR Poprad self-propelled very short-range air defense system can launch Grom and Piorun missiles. It carries 4 ready-to-fire missiles and 4 spares. Developed for Indonesia, the Kobra uses the Hussar, a 6x6 Polish Land Rover variant, as its carrier vehicle. It launches only Grom missiles and is part of the Integrated Air Defense System, locally designated as Aster. Additionally, the Polish ZSU-23 4MP Biała self-propelled, PSR-A Pilica Yelch 442-32 track-mounted, and ZUR-23 2 kg towed anti-aircraft gun systems are fitted with these MANPADS. Furthermore, they can also be integrated onto the ship-based Wróbel-II gun mounts and the W3PL Głuszec helicopters. The Kusza features a twin launcher mounted on numerous carriers, such as the Aero 2 light off-road vehicle. The launcher can also be deployed on a tripod. Unveiled at MSPO 2019, the Perkun Autonomous Air Defense Combat System features a double launcher for Grom Piorun missiles and the Ibis unmanned ground vehicle. It automatically detects targets using a thermal imaging sight and a daytime sight, and is also equipped with an IFF system. The operator can control the Perkun from a safe location. After indicating the threat's approach direction, the system takes over and tracks it automatically. The Grom was baptized with fire during the 2008 Russo-Georgian War. Various sources report the launch of between 12 and 20 MANPADS. The Georgian claims that 9 of them hit their targets and that at least one Su-25 was shot down. Russia captured some Groms during the war. Later, in 2010, the Russian press reported that some Groms were found in Chechnya in the hands of the separatists. The Polish side strongly denied the claim, accusing Russia of fabricating evidence to link Poland to the conflict. In 2014, during the Russian invasion of Crimea, previously captured Grom systems reappeared. On May 18, reports indicated that Russian saboteurs in Donetsk possessed these MANPADS. During the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine, Ukrainian forces have used the Piorun to shoot down Su-34 and Su-25 aircraft, Arlan-10 drones, and Ka-52 and Mi-24 helicopters. When the first MANPADS emerged, the massive armies of the First Cold War still existed. Then technology advanced. In terms of combat capability, a new generation combat jet or helicopter could replace 3 or 5 of the older ones. Quality began to outweigh quantity. In response to this shift, MANPADS evolved. Fewer, more advanced systems became sufficient for effective defense. The Mistral and RBS-70 were developed in accordance with this principle. Meanwhile, the US Stinger maintains its simple design. NATO allies in Europe formed the Euro-Stinger consortium to produce the system. This collaboration reduced unit costs through higher production volumes. Each nation contributed components, generating jobs and supporting technology transfer. However, this multinational structure later created challenges in placing new orders. Internal disagreements among allies sometimes led to blocks on further procurement. Since no single country produces the entire system, new acquisition plans have become nightmarishly complex. With the new age of drones, the focus shifted back to quantity. Poland responded by offering simple, affordable, and easy-to-produce MANPADS. The Grom and Piorun are practical systems without any unique, superb technological features. As we frequently enjoy noting, it is just a damn hammer to hit the son of a bitch until it's in. Even the mighty US military acknowledged replicating Iran's primitive Shahed drones and sought assistance from Ukraine to address these threats. High technology is indeed highly effective, but not cost-effective. The cutting-edge US and Israeli weaponry quickly diminished Iran's defense capabilities. The country no longer maintains control over its airspace. Nevertheless, Iran maintains the ability to attack ships trying to pass through the Hormuz Strait. It remains uncertain how long the attackers can sustain this economic burden. Norway, which gave away its Mistrals, acquired the Piorun. Sweden ordered this system while continuing to export its super MANPADS, the RBS-70. Even France, the manufacturer of the Mistral, is offering its Mark III variant of the missile to the international market while also considering purchasing the Piorun. Therefore, the demand for these MANPADS is not surprising. Unlike other leading Western European countries and their defense industry giants, Poland and its companies have a better understanding of the realities of the New World. They do not boast about their inflated revenues from small but overpriced sales and absurdly costly development programs. The Poles design and produce weapon systems that meet real needs and expand their market share. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of our new videos. For more contents like this, please consider clicking the join button to support our channel. And as always, we would greatly appreciate all of your likes, comments, and shares.